Are you ready for the Low Bros Network?
You don't clap with that, you clap with your two hands. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the world, let's make sure we're inclusive here. Whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever piece of the space and time continuum that you currently occupy, welcome to episode 6 of the Couch Pundit podcast. I'm your host, former look, I can't think of anything. For legal reasons, you'll have to continue calling me Keego, and cheers to another week. This week, oh, that's a cheeky one. This week, before we get into it, this week I was in Tesco. Other supermarkets are available, and I thought, it's been a long week of ups and downs. I'd like some strong alcohol. And so usually that means you find a cheeky craft beer with a high percentage on it, which I had yesterday actually, but they had pink gin. I had pink gin before. I don't know who they are or what it is or how it works, but it was there for €10. I thought, wow, look, we're all broke, but if it helps you get a bit messed up, and then €10 well spent. And I'm having it again now today. If you were to look at my glass now, it's a proper gin glass. I've got a little pink and blue ice cube with a slice of lemon, pink gin and tonic, slimline tonic, of course, because it's exactly the same as when I used to work at McDonald's and these really fat people. I know you should call them obese, but then I'm not too sure how I feel about that. We'll get into that in a sec. Really fat people come in and order everything off the menu with a Diet Coke. It's like, mate, we're already on that slippery slope. Let's just get proper Coke. So I don't know why I'm doing the slimline thing, but I'm trying to convince myself it's a health drink. But it's not. So if you hear me licking my lips, that's why. Pink gin does that. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, going to throw a few cheeky grenades in here, but before we do, just to point you guys in the direction of another really great podcast, if you don't mind me calling my podcast really great. It's called Nash, done by sexy producer Rick, or sex producer Mick. He wrote his job title down, but his handwriting's so bad I couldn't tell which one it is. So if he jumps in now and tells you what his job title is, that'd be great. So I'll leave a second for that. Great. Hopefully sex producer Rick has corrected what he does, but he has his own podcast, and it is important, it is brave, it is fantastic, and hopefully it is going to be a regular thing, talking about mental health and helping yourself and getting help and understanding things that go on in our little brains. It's really, really good. So Rick, saluting you and your podcast. It is really, really fantastic and important. So everyone, I think it's on iTunes and Spotify. I'm not too sure. Check Spotify as well. It's Rick Nash. Search for that. It'll be under there. It'll also be on the Low Blows Network. It'll be in there too. But definitely get in there, subscribe to that. Well worth your time. So now we get on to the meat and veg of this week's podcast, and it's going to cause a problem, and I don't mind causing problems. I am a living problem, a human problem, but let's have a chat, right? So Twitter, where the good ideas of the world go to die, okay? A horrible place if you don't treat it with the disrespect that it deserves. So I'm going to say the genders of the people involved only to show something, okay? So I'm going to read this. I'm not changing any of the words. I'm not going to name them, but I'll tell you what they are, right? I'm in them in some of these tweets. I am physically male but emotionally female, which is going to be difficult. That's pretty funny. Sorry, just the mental image of that. Anyway, have you seen Jay and Silent Bob? There's a bit where Jay tucks like Buffalo Bill from Silent of the Lambs, and it's still the funniest thing in the world. And they do that in the reboot, which is coming out soon, and the trailer's out online now actually, and I've watched it about 87 times and I cry every time. It's brilliant. Anyway, enough of that. Actually, yeah, let's all go and watch Jay and Silent Bob reboot. But anyway, so here we go. Twitter. A woman. I don't mean that. Do you know when you say a woman? You know, like, I don't mean it in a derogatory. It is just a woman. Not just a woman. It is a woman. I'm assigning gender because I want to. I start a fight with people. So here we go. This is what the woman said. I need help, Twitter. Who are the good-looking Irish men? Just objectively, straight down the line, hot. Nothing to do with personality or attractiveness. Like, can we agree that Bressie is textbook handsome? Who else? Okay, that's the tweet, right? And I licked my manly lips, if you pardon the mental image there, which is equal parts horrific and hilarious. I'm actually laughing myself again. But the reason I saw it was someone who works on a radio station that I'm sometimes on, who presents a show that I'm sometimes on, replied. There's 292 replies, but because I'm friends with this person is, or follow this person, this other person follows me, I saw her reply. Another woman replies with a list. Aidan Turner, Stuart Townsend, Colin Farrell, of course, Aidan Quinn, Luke Fitzgerald. What? Take him off the list for a start. Carl Pendred, Jamie Dornan, don't get that. Rob Kearney, of course. Gabriel Byrne, Love Island's Greg, I don't know what that is. Michael Fassbender, never got that now. I don't understand the fascination with the Fassbender. And then she finishes off with, and let's mix it up, Owen Murphy, Daniel McConnell, Sean Defoe and Kieran Cuddihy, right? So that was the reply I saw to the stupid tweet from the woman first. And again, I'm purposely saying it like that to cause annoyance in your faces. And in order to come back at me, thecouchpuntidarland@gmail.com, thecouchpuntidarland.com, and facebook.com/thecouchpuntidarland. Send me corrections and abuse there, and be safe in the knowledge that your abuse and hatred and dislike will go directly to your target. It won't be spread out to a team or anything else. It'll go straight to me, right? And you will hurt my feelings, which I know is the whole point of contacting me. Except for the positive people. Thank you very much for that. You keep me upright. So, that was the tweet from the person who has a news talk show that replied to the stupid tweet by the person talking about attractive men, right? My answer. There is no my answer, and I'm physically male, emotionally female. Is that... Wait, that's actually quite offensive, isn't it? Oh. So that means I'm assuming that women are more emotional than men. That's... Where do I get that idea from? Anyway, moving on. I'm sure Jordan Peterson has a real reason why I would say that. But for me, because of the head trauma in my life, it's just a... I'm going to say that women can't drive either, just to level things out. So my answer to bullshit above, there is no real answer to this question, ! Trying to say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There is no what you may find attractive I may not, and that there is a market for everything, and I am appreciative of that. I wouldn't be in the position I'm in if there wasn't. But anyway, I said below that, I said but, comma, because I did higher level English in the Leaving Cert. I said, but, comma, imagine if I asked that about Irish women. I'd be in Twitter jail right now if I did. So let's reverse everything and see how you feel. So I Keego at N Keegan on Twitter. I turn around and say this: I need help, Twitter. Who are the good-looking Irish women? Like, just objectively, straight down the line, hot. Nothing to do with personality or attractiveness, you know? Like, can we agree that Sheila Showiga, who's textbook hot? Who else? I don't know why I said Sheila Showiga there. I don't think I could pick her out of a lineup. I'm sure she's lovely, but I don't know who she is. I can't think of anyone else who's like, you know, the Bressie of women. Like Bressie looks like, you know, someone I went to school with. They all had and even I had it for a short amount of time. You know, bullying works. I got a haircut, but you know, the blade 3 back and sides and just cut it on top. You know, the black rock as it's known. But I went to school in Booterstown, so we called it the Booterstown. Bressie looks like Booterstown. I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, but he looks like Booterstown. But imagine I said that. And you know, I'm going to do it actually after this, after we have our chat. I'm going to put a tweet up like that. And I'm going to see the amount of anger I get. Because it actually struck a nerve with... Oh, actually, there's more replies. Sorry, I'm actually doing this live because I didn't research. Okay? A friend of mine, right, who is very smart, very intelligent, reviews music, movies, restaurants and things like that, at HAYK on Twitter, very smart guy, retweeted it, so that obviously means he agrees. But the person who made the list replied to me in text speak, saying, "You, the letter U, make a fair point! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark." So you know that when a woman uses you instead of YOU, that means that they're beaten in the argument. We all know this. So I replied back going, "Is this worth a chat? We can have a chat on Monday on the radio, double standards, etc." So I'm waiting to hear back. But then you see the problem happens. See, that's a mature conversation in my mind. You know what I mean? We've had a back and forth. I've pointed out the differences without throwing a label at anyone, and that the person has seen that I'm making a decent point. Another guy, Gary, pops in with a feminist grenade. Every fake feminist and their 14 cats would be banging down your door, my friend. I don't know what he means, but he obviously saw it online and it must be true. But it's just interesting, isn't it? Just in general. I think most grown people, especially people who are relatively confident, and the older you get, the more confident you are, want equality and kind of everyone to be treated nicely, treated the same. If I don't know you, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, you know, staying within your circle, not on purpose, but only caring about those who are close to you and being nice to everyone. I think that's generally my rule. Like, I care about what my family think and my close friends think. But outside of that, I genuinely don't care. But that's only because I'm in my very late upper mid 30s. Very, very late upper mid 30s, right? Kind of like David Brent. No, I'm not that old, but you know what I mean. Maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I cared more. It was the other way around. I don't know. I can't remember because I've been hitting the head a lot. But maybe social media, the beauty is that you can have relatively grown-up conversations and you can kind of go, well, I disagree, blah, blah. And there's actually another conversation I had during the week with an American, which was interesting, which I'll talk to you about in a second, ask you your advice. But if I'd have said what this woman said about, you know, nothing to do with personality or attractiveness, like who's hot, like just attractiveness, sorry, who's hot, I would be in jail. I'd probably be on some sort of register for talking, for treating women based on looks, not on everything else. But now we're at a stage where women can say that about men. It's just interesting. And then most of the time, and this is the first time it's happened where I've gotten a proper response from someone, but that's only because I'm going to use the word relationship, but it's not the right word. I know the person and they know me and they know where I'm coming from, this News Talk person. The only reason that I got a response is because they know who they're talking to. Whereas on Twitter especially, anyone can see it at any time, and they've no relationship to the initial post or the poster, and they don't have any idea what that person's like, what they mean. Is it a joke? Is it real? We don't know. And that's the problem with Twitter. I love it because I feel that I can tweet Donald Trump and I know eventually he'll read it. I don't really care if he does, but I feel better knowing that he does. And like Leo Varadkar, all these boys, and women can be powerful too. I didn't mean that the way it came out, but Twitter is like instead of shouting across a bar, you send them a message and that's it. For me, it's done. Some people just carry on. Like this initial post has 293 replies, and I would suggest I'm just going to roll through a couple of them. Right, hang on. I'm just going to see here. Now wait, actually, the initial woman with the initial tweet that I replied to is trying to justify what she's saying. So this is interesting. And again, if you give this woman a penis and make her a man, that's what I'm saying, not like some sort of weird transgender thing. Sorry, transgenders are not weird. I didn't mean it like that. You know what I meant. She's replying again saying, this is an attempt to create a scale of handsomeness so I can try to understand why someone thinks Shane Phelan, whoever that is the hottest man in Ireland. So she's trying to make a joke out of the initial point that she was actually trying to say, because she got feedback or whatchamacallit, not harassment, but she was set straight. Basically, that's what happens on Twitter. People change their mind all the time. They never stick to what they want to say. But also, no one pointed out Pierce Brosnan, who is obviously the hottest man in Ireland. I actually, we used to live in Dalkey on the sea, facing Dalkey Island. It was like MTV Cribs. It was amazing. And I'd be walking up towards the town, probably before the Dalkey Duck arrived, into the Queen's, which was the lucky pub, for an old pint, probably with the old man. And I'm walking along, and there's a guy in a leather jacket, and I go, oh, that's a cool leather jacket. And then I look again and go, geez, there's some head of hair on him. And he's talking to his wife, who I recognise because randomly on Twitter she was organising some really good benefit to benefit the homeless people or something in wherever. I can't remember now, but it was really good. And I recognised her and I said, how are you doing? And then I turned to her right. So they're walking towards me and I'm walking up towards the main street. And I go, Jesus, that's Pierce Brosnan, be cool. He was wearing tighter jeans than I wear, looking far cooler than I'm ever going to look, in a leather jacket that the fans would look at and go, I can't get away with that. This was the coolest man I've ever seen in my life. But I was talking to her, trying to ignore him, trying to be a grown-up. And she brings him into the conversation. It's like, oh, how are you doing? So they were staying in the house opposite us. He was filming something. He was staying there and in Fitzpatrick's hotel. I was like, oh yeah, good man, yeah. The Queen's a great boozer and all this sort of stuff. He's like, yeah. But just standing and talking to him, I was like, Jesus. And I'm fairly fancy of myself there now, Pierce. You know? Do you want the... I'm trying to not say 007 inches. Would you please stop trying to make me say that? That's terrible. But, yeah, Pierce Brosnan is the most attractive man in Ireland. Pink Gin, salute to Pierce Brosnan. Not bad for a man from Navan. What else were we going to... Oh, yeah. The other weird conversation... Basically, women, you're not allowed to objectify men if we're not allowed to objectify you. Now, if we turn around and say, you want to objectify men and make lists, that's fine. I don't care. But I'm allowed then make a list. without you jumping in and giving out. Deal? What do you women think? Let me know. But yeah, the other thing, Americans, right? Most of the soundest people I've ever met are American. But then there's a lot of crazy people too. And the example is recently, right? I was having a back and forth with someone I was in school with before. Very sound, but very American, very rich, very Republican. Okay? A woman. That's not me assuming or supplying gender. That's a woman, right? She would tell you she's a woman. Okay? How dare you? Stop. Okay, look. We'll talk about that after we've built a real relationship together. I mean you guys and me, not me and this woman. And there was the big thing about Donald Trump telling these 4 women to go home. Back to their country because they obviously don't like America. Okay? That's a round story about what's going on. Now 3 of them were born in America, but that doesn't really matter. One of them was born in Somalia or somewhere, I think, has an American passport, is Americanized, pays taxes in America, blah blah blah, lives life over there. They're all in the whatever it is, Senate or House or whatever. It's all silly. But old Donald, who is a gift that keeps on giving, he says just go back to where you came from. You don't want to be here. And that's kind of sprouted general racism from people. So like his spokeswoman or whatever they call her, and it's worth a Google actually. Her name is Kellyanne Conway, right? And she has the same hair as him. So you know the way people say the dogs start resembling their owners, and if girls hang around together they get their periods at the same time. It's exactly like that. She is him. And she started asking people, what's your ethnicity? Sorry, this pink gin is affecting my way to talk. What's your ethnicity? Easy for no one to say. It's like, it doesn't matter. We're either people or we're not, America was built on, obviously, the Native Americans, and then when we got rid of them, the ingenuity and working together of immigrants. The Irish built New York. The Irish built America. You can't all of a sudden turn around and go, well, America. You're built with people coming in and making the place better and wanting to be part of it. And that's what these women have done. But it's exactly the same as it happens here in Ireland as well. And if we're being totally honest, old men are petrified of young, strong women. And I'm kind of going from the age of 40 to the age of 20. That kind of age group where, strong, opinionated, thoughtful, empathetic, educated women scare the Jesus out of old men. And Donald Trump is an old man. His chief of staff, Kellyanne Conway, is also an old man. But oh God, pink gin, go on. And sorry, yeah. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who I talk politics about a wee bit, and we agree sometimes, we disagree most times. Most of the time, because I would be kind of, I'm a hippie at heart. I never had the long hair for it, and based on my hairline receding from the age of 7, I was never going to have that. But I kind of think we are all one organism. We should all help each other, be nice to each other, tolerate each other, and just live our own lives, and not be bollockses, not be arseholes, people don't agree with that, so that's fine. But this my friend was saying that one of them was married to her brother, and this was a comment that kept coming along, and I said, well, do you have a marriage cert? And she said, no. I said, well, has anyone produced a marriage cert? Because when you get married, generally, regardless of your faith, even if you don't need one in the Muslim or whatever faith, you have to have one for legal reasons. No. But it's highly probable that she married her brother. And so I'd be going, Whew, that's some sentence. It's highly probable that based on what you're saying, you're an arsehole. But I know you're not. Do you get me? I don't like working on probabilities when you're throwing shit at people. It has to be a fact. And she would say, well, what about if there's a crime and, you know, there's no evidence to prosecute, that person gets away with it? So, well, yeah, that's law. Unfortunately, that's law. You prove it, it happens. And then her example was, imagine if in Ireland, because she's living over in LA in a beautiful spot, but a different planet. Lovely way to live, if you could live that way. But it's not real life for most people. Obviously working hard and whatever has worked out, and that's great. But her example was, imagine, because she knows I'm into rugby, a real man's sport as opposed to football, which is played by babies. I look forward to your letters. I was going to say postcards, but most of you don't know what postcards are anymore. But yes, so imagine, she would say, imagine if people thought that the Shamrock was racist and they wouldn't stand for the national anthem and blah blah blah. And I kind of, I started licking my lips, pink gin, cheers for that, you know. I would be kind of going, oh, you brought up rugby. And rugby is the example. So, for years, outside of during one World Cup where we played the, someone told me this the other day, the Rose of Tralee theme song. Outside of that, it was always Hour on the Vein. Beautiful song. Really, what a song. And I can't wait, actually. I've got tickets for the Ireland Italy World Cup warm-up game, and I can't wait to belt that tune out. But Ireland realised that when you have a rugby team or any team consisting of the entire 32 counties, there will be a group of people who don't like Hour on the Vein. It doesn't make them any less Irish. They're wearing that green jersey, they're putting their bodies on the line, we all salute them. But they're not into Hour on the Vein. Okay, and it took us too long, but eventually we realised that song is not inclusive of everyone on our beautiful island. Whatever your beliefs are, we are an island. I love everybody. So we wrote Ireland's Call, and that is a song that we can all sing. And I said this back to my friend. I said, yes, you're right. There was a time where people wouldn't sing for the anthem. They didn't take a knee because everyone was standing. It's, you know, Americans do things for attention. But I said, look, we realised something was wrong, wrote a song, everyone's included. Why can't you do that? No answer. That was 2 days ago. But I'll finish with a couple of questions, right? That was serious, but we're going to come into a couple of questions, right? And I was watching Blue Planet. Great show, especially with a few pink gins on you. Blue Planet, right? And it was one of these things where, you know, they've never been lower in the ocean. Excuse me, damn, that's strong. Never been lower in the ocean. 100 million feet deep, whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. You can't even see your own arse, or whatever. You know, you're that deep. And you see this little light. It's like, is it Finding Nemo or something, where they have one of these things where out of the forehead of the fish a little LED light pops out to distract you, and then it's got a big set of teeth on it, like the size of a house, you know, these kind of things. And I kind of thought, well, why do we go into the ocean? We don't have flippers, fins, we can't really swim that well. Like, it would be like if a shark came into our house. It'd be pretty quickly dealt with because the shark can't breathe in our house. It can only breathe in the water. Why would we go into water when everything can kill us? It's like, and again, I know Australia is mad. I know Australia's crazy. But I remember years ago, we were in Australia on a round the world tour, and we were walking along Manly Beach, beautiful spot, Had I started drinking now? I was 22, so it was like that trip was when I started drinking. No, I think it was before that I started drinking. I started drinking in New Zealand on Paddy's Day. It was great, but I started late and I've made up for it, as you can tell. But walk along Manly Beach, really, really beautiful spot. Sun is out, everyone's having a great time, and this alarm goes off. This shark alarm goes off, right? And it's very much like the fire alarm in an Irish pub or in an office, or whenever you hear an alarm in Ireland. You look around for fires or theft or murder, and if you don't see it, you could just continue on and whatever you're doing. There was I could say hundreds, it might have been 10, I don't know, surfers out there on this it was like a big sheet of glass for as far as you could see. And you could see them all sitting, straddling their surfboards, wiggling their toes in the water, looking around for the shark. Couldn't see it, so they kept on going. Now, I was so scared we nearly got in a taxi and went to Melbourne from Manly. That's how scared we were. But they just wandered on. And we ran into someone that night who was in the water. And she was saying, yeah, I was out surfing today, heard the alarm. And yeah, the shark just swam underneath me. It was grand. I nearly just shit myself listening to that story. Why do we go into the water? If you go into the water, why do you go into the water? What's wrong with you? And the second question that we're going to finish with today, and it's for the beautiful ladies of the world. Why are you incapable of turning the volume down in the car incrementally? So if we're sitting at 10, which is my optimal number, right, to enjoy music without getting, and when the car is full, I mean, but without getting obnoxiously loud, it's 10. Aside from my OCD that it has to be an even number, 10 is the number. Now if something happens, or the noise or something, that is decreased rapidly by a flip of that circular dial. And the amount of numbers it decreases equates to the amount of enjoyment I'm getting from the song. Why can't you just turn it down bit by bit? Can we have a chat about that, please? Because it's very, very annoying. I just think it's something that we need to talk about to bring our species closer together. But yeah, we're sitting here getting ready to hop off another week. But you know, I think we've covered a lot of ground. Definitely remember to check out the Nash podcast. Search for Rick Nash on wherever you get your pods. And yeah, we've rolled through another week. The positives are we've survived. The positives are we're still here. The positives are we're still listening. The negatives are it was a bit rainy today. Do you get what I'm saying? I know days are dark, but it's all about getting to that next cup of coffee. So I salute everyone who's gotten to that next cup of coffee. I hope your week is a good one. I hope your week is the best one of the year so far. If you do need to send me a message, whether it's abuse, whether it's happiness, whether it's incriminating footage of anyone, actually don't send that one to me, that's too much responsibility. Ladies, if you want to correct me as to why you're able to objectify men but I can't objectify women, do get in touch. thecouchpunditirland@gmail.com, thecouchpunditirland.com, facebook.com/thecouchpunditirland, twitter.com/@nkeegan, Instagram KDUBDD. This is coming to you through the Low Blows Network. Search for them. I think that is all the plugs. If you'd like to sponsor the show, let me know. If you want me to shout you out, send me a message. I will read it verbatim. So if it is directed at someone or at me, I'll read it out. But the most important stuff, I hope you're all well. I hope you're happy. I hope you get to the next cup of coffee. It is important. We all just keep putting the feet in front of each other. The more often we do that, the better result we're going to get. Life's not easy. It's all about getting up from the couch. You can't change the world from your couch. Just get up and have a wander. Let's love those. No, we don't love everyone. Let's hug those we love. Let's tolerate those we don't. But let's always talk to each other.